I've taught this book a number of semesters in my college writing 2 class. It's called The Things They Carried by Tim O'Brien. And the first story in it is a story of the same title, The Things They Carried. And it talks about a platoon of soldiers and all of the various things that they carried with them. Because, when you're out in the field, carrying things is particularly difficult. It has weight, you have to store it, but also the things that they carry have to be functional, or sometimes they carry things because they have significant meaning and give them the will to continue. And so there's all different things that are being carried and reasons why they're being carried. And it's just a really remarkably beautiful, simply told story, but and a really poignant story. And it made me think that may have something to do with why we are curious about the things that people carry, the things that they have in their notebooks or the things that they have in their backpacks or handbags. And so I decided to make a very quick video sharing with you some of the things that I carry on a daily basis. So this is my handbag. It is a MZ Wallace medium Sutton. It's an amazing handbag. I'll tell you about that at some point, but I'm going to take out my analog tools and put everything else aside. And I just want to show you those things in this video. So I also have my makeup in here, my phone, my keys, and my AirPods, and sometimes my glasses, but that's it. But these are my analog tools, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. So I have 2 pouches, cases, and my writing folder. And I'm going to show you my writing folder first. This is my A5 Smithson writing folder. The reason why this is meaningful to me, the first time I discovered Smithson, it is Smithson of Bond Street, a company in the UK. I discovered it when I was hanging out with a mommy friend of mine. I had just had my oldest son, Aiden, so he's about to turn 21. So this was some time ago, over 20 years ago. We were talking about notebooks and various things like that, and she was from the UK, and this company came up. I had never heard of it before. At some point, I got a catalog from them. The catalog itself was all kinds of posh and fancy, and I was just taken by the brand at that point. I was into things like that, and I could not afford not a single thing from that store. It is just so expensive. And one of these at the time probably cost over $400 or $500, and there was just no way. And recently I came across one last year, the year before. I've had this over a year. So in 2022, that was being sold on The Real, which is consignment. And it was just a fraction of the cost. It was new in the box, pristine condition, orange. It was a Python embossing, which they no longer make. And the price was just, like I said, a fraction of what the retail price was. The collection is no longer being made. It is like from 2010 to 2012. The orange color is no longer being made or is not in circulation right now, and that is my favorite color. So I decided to get it, and I've been carrying it every day since. It's been through a lot. It came in contact with an antibacterial wipe that I had in my bag. I don't have wet wipes in my bag anymore, but it came in contact with that, and it stripped the paint off of the front cover. I had to learn how to paint leather to repair it because there was no way I was going to discard it just because it had that stain. Everything else was just fine, but it didn't look aesthetically pleasing to me. I really wasn't happy with the way that it looked. I fixed it that day. And then the zipper pull, even though the writing folder was like new, this piece of leather had become quite dry. It hadn't been conditioned. It was old. The zipper pull takes a lot of strain, and so it snapped off. And my friend Christian Seno is a wonderful leather craftsman and made a new zipper pull for me. So this has been through a lot in the year plus that I've had it. And because of that, it means even more to me. It holds even greater value and greater significance for me. Just to share with you a little bit of what's inside of it, everything that I tend to have right now in my life has significant meaning to me. I'm just at that stage. I don't want things just because they're pretty. I don't want things just because other people have them. I want things because they have meaning for me. Even the business cards that I have in there right now, I am so in love with this organization right now. The business card is aesthetically pleasing to me. It kind of coordinates with the folder. And the only reason I keep it in there is because I like looking at it, because all of the information is in my contacts in my phone. I have a few things that I switch in and out as I need them with, the work that I do and the things I like to do. So I have like annotation tabs because I take a lot of notes and read a lot. School is in session. I teach, blah, blah, blah. I also keep my wallet in my writing folder so that I can just grab the whole thing and go. So I never have this in my bag separately. It is always in this pocket in my writing folder and was made specifically for that purpose for me by Christian Seno. It is made out of Togo leather and, and I think maybe goat skin on the inside, but it's gorgeous. And it was made, like I said, especially for me, and I love it. This is my pen. It is a Pentel Libretto. It's an Energel refill inside of it. I use that now. I've been using it for over a year because for a long time I was into fountain pens, and a fountain pen leaked inside of another writing folder that I had, not a Smithson writing folder, but another expensive one. And I was really upset by that. And so I decided I was not going to carry around fountain pens in my writing folder and switched to this rollerball, which I absolutely have fallen in love with. I find it very practical, easy to use, writes very smoothly. It's comfortable to write with, so it is a real workhorse, and I use it every single day for mostly everything that I write. The refills that I have inside of this really fancy folder are super cheap. I have turned into a really frugal person over the years. I have 2 kids to put through college. One is a junior and one is a sophomore in high school right now. So he's going to head off to college soon, and I have a long way to go. So I am not trying to waste any money on things that I don't necessarily need. Writing is something that I do. I feel that I need to do it, but I don't need to spend a lot of money doing it. And so the inserts that I have in here now are very, very affordable. I found this brand, this Seiden. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but we were in Germany 2 years ago in a store called Kotave, and they had a section with like school supplies. This notebook was €3.95. They call it a booklet. It is not hardcover, it's soft cover, it's grid ruled. it was €3.95, which is like the equivalent of like less than $4.50, I think, with the current exchange rate. And I grabbed one. And then I didn't use it when I got home because I only had the one and I didn't want to waste it. That's a whole nother video and a whole nother story. But I have a friend who goes back and forth to Germany quite often. And he was kind enough to bring back a few more for me so that I would feel released to use this one. I finally did. I started using it in October of 2023. I hand drew monthly and weekly calendars in it and use the remaining pages for my notes. That has worked out really well. Today is the last day for this, and so I've taken it out and replaced it with a new, same brand, €3.95. See, I lie not. €3.95 refill. I decided that I was not going to do it the exact same way this time. The hand-drawn calendars were fun-ish to make, but you know what? That's not really my thing. I also thought it would be nice to just have the whole notebook be notes. And so when we were in Muji, either earlier this month or last month, I saw that they had these weekly planners with the same exact layout as the weekly calendar I was drawing. See, Monday start, Sunday finish. This was $1.90. I was sold. It was a no-brainer. So $3.95, $1.90, under what, $6, and I'm done. I have them both with a rubber band and elastic so that they're together in here. I learned that from my Traveler's Notebook days, and I have them in this clear Midori A5 cover so that I can actually take them out and do whatever with them, and they are a single solid piece. And that is my notebook, and it means the world to me. So, on to the pouches. I have 2 pouches in my bag pretty much all the time. This first one is the older one. I've had this in my bag now for probably almost a year. It was a gift on Mother's Day from my sons, and it is stuffed full of a lot of things that I probably don't even need. So these are some sassy, I call them sassy, sweary stickers that the boys got me for Christmas. They are from an Etsy shop called Fat Kids and Cake, which I absolutely love. The owner of that and the craftsperson is Havlin, and these are the stickers that she makes. The boys picked out a few, and then she was kind enough to throw some extras in. It was so funny on Christmas because some of them, they all have cuss words on them, and we don't really cuss in our house amongst each other. What they do with their friends, I don't know. I do cuss with my friends, but I just do not cuss with my sons. I'm just that person. And they picked out a few for me. Of course, they had cuss words on them, but the ones that she threw in were ones that they didn't pick and probably wouldn't have just because of what they said. So when I pulled this one out, they're like, we did not pick that. And they were kind of shocked, and it was just so funny. I knew she had thrown them in as freebies, and it was just funny to see their reactions. But I carry them around. I don't know why, but I'm going to put them back in there for now. They are sentimental to me. And then I'm going to just dump everything out that's in here so we can see. This holds quite a bit. There is quite a bit in it. There's an inside pocket in here, and I have some Post-it notes in there. I forgot they were in there, so they're of no use if I don't remember, and now I remember, so maybe I'll use them. I have a few paper clips in here. I get kind of crazy, weird when I make a mistake. I don't want to, I try to scribble out, and sometimes I do, but it totally depends on my mood. Sometimes it makes me a little crazy. So I do have correction tape. I use a lot of cream colored paper. That's probably the paper I use most often. And so I have this cream color correction tape dispenser that I got from Amazon. And when I looked at the product online, I thought it was a regular size thing. And then it came and it's like 5 times the size of a regular size correction tape dispenser. And when I tell you, I have had this for a year and it's not even halfway finished. It's ridiculously large and takes up most of the space inside of this pouch. This one is white. Sometimes I use white paper. I also have some light green steno paper that I got this year from my Pastalco snap pad, and I made a mistake and tried to correct it with the cream colored correction tape, and that made me bananas. I don't even know why. And so I was able to find some Aero Green correction fluid for professional logbooks. How ridiculous is it that I am carrying this around? I may use this once every 6 months, but it's in here. I also have, these are hole punch reinforcements, believe it or not. I have those because my snap pad uses 2-hole punch paper, and it sometimes tears because it's not reinforced. And this actually, my son actually purchased this, but he does use reinforced paper, and so he didn't need it, and it was sitting in the drawer being not used, and I grabbed it thinking I should carry this around everywhere that I go in case I should have a torn hole. This is an amazing little slide clip dispenser that I discovered. This particular one was sent to me by a friend. I have a larger one that I don't carry around because it doesn't fit in my pouch. And so she sent me this one recently, and it fits in my pouch, and it dispenses these clips that are reusable, but they are better than paper clips and better than staples, and I love them. And even though I still collect paper clips, these are so handy and ingenious. The same friend sent me this pouch, which is made by the same company as this larger packing pouch. Nahe, I think it's High Tide is the company though. And I love it. I don't know what to put in it. And I don't want to break this little chain here. So I actually put it in here because it's sentimental to me, and I just carry it everywhere I go. I don't know why. And this is a binder clip that my sons bought for me the same time they purchased this packing pouch, and I carry it around. I use it sometimes, and it's bright yellow, so I love the color. And those are the things I carry in this Nahe High Tide packing pouch. Finally, I have this beautiful, beautiful pen case. It is made, or Toolbox it's actually called. It's made by a Japanese company called Pastalco. And I purchased it through Baumkuchen. I do some work for them, and because of that had some credit that I could spend. Otherwise, I don't know if I could actually justify spending this kind of money on this kind of product. It's just outside of my budget. I'm trying to put 2 kids through college. I'd love to be able to have disposable income where I could just buy something like this, but I don't think that I could afford it. But I have it, and because I have it, I get a chance to experience it. It is beautifully designed. I'm sure it will last for years. I've probably had it for about a year. The stitching is great, and the material is lovely. The construction is ingenious. It opens up this way, so it holds so much more stuff than it looks like it holds. I'm just going to dump everything out so you can see what's inside of it. I have it stuffed. I carry it with me all the time. Recently, my semester started, and a few of my students asked to borrow a pen. And I took this out, and now I think people just ask to borrow pens because I have good pens. And I've been rotating out the pens so I can put different pens in there because I'm just having fun loaning out awesome pens. So I have a small pack of translucent or transparent see-through sticky notes. I have 2 rulers. I only need 1, but they're both so awesome. This one's made by a company, Weiss, and this is Traveler's Company, I think. It's a brass ruler. I don't ever use the stencils, and like I said, I only need 1. This refill is a refill for the Pentel Libretto pen that I carry in my writing folder. I often run out of ink while I'm on the go, so I always have a refill with me. These are scissors. I often need to cut something for some reason. These used to be in my knitting bag. They're like retractable, collapsible scissors. They're so small and so handy. I always have those with me. I always have a few paper clips. I love paper clips. I collect paper clips. And I always have some with me, and I'm always using a paper clip for something. So I'm just going to go through the pens that are in the pen case very quickly. I'm going to count them. There are 5, 10, 11 pens in there. 11 pens. Let me see if I can put this one here. So these are Bic crystal pens. I did not buy them. I found them somewhere. I found them in 2 different places. I didn't even find them at the same time. And I grabbed them when I found them, and they get borrowed a lot. They are tried and true, and people love a Bic pen. These are Muji gel pens. I have 2 of them. Muji are very affordable products, and these were probably $1.90 or something. I like the way they write. I love the way they write. Very smooth writing, very minimalist in their design. The only thing I don't like about them is that they are not refillable. And so when you discard them, you're discarding this whole plastic barrel and cap, plus the refill. I don't know. I'm just trying to be more conscientious about stuff. And yet, look, I don't know. I really don't. This is a Pentel Energel. The ink color is the same color as the clip and clicker here, like this kind of pinkish orange color. Very nice to write with. It has this very cushiony barrel, and it gets borrowed a lot, I think because of the color. This has like the same refill. It is an Energel also. I got this one before I got the other one, the Libretto, but this one is not as comfortable for me to write with. I bashed up my hands a lot when I did Taekwondo, and for some reason holding this one hurts in here where I did something to my hand one time and it's never quite recovered. So I have this, but I don't really use it that much. And honestly, it doesn't get borrowed that much. So I might pull that one out of there. This is a Micron, Pigma Micron in orange. Orange is my favorite color. And this is a felt tip. It gets used and borrowed a lot. And I use it a lot for highlighting my notes when I take notes. It's great. It's a fine line, and it is super dependable. This one is similar in a way. I grabbed this when I was in Germany. It is a Pilot. I don't know a Pilot what, because that's the only thing I can read on it. Everything else is written in Japanese. So I don't know the style, but it's this bright pink and it's really pretty and I love it. And again, I use it for highlighting, underlining, stuff like that. This is an actual highlighter. I carry one of these with me. I carry lots of other colors in another pouch that, not like this, not this pouch, but another pouch that's in my tote that I take with me when I go to the university or I go to a cafe or something to do work. I have other color highlighters that I use as well. These two black rollerball pens are like super dependable and very smooth writing. One is a Stabilo Black Plus, and this one is a Sharpie S Gel. These actually get borrowed quite a bit. And then I inked this up last week. I have not used this in forever, and I have it in here, so I hope it doesn't leak. But it is a black inked, there's black ink in it. It's not black. It is Desert Orange with black trim. It is a Pilot Vanishing Point fountain pen with a fine tip or fine nib. And yeah, my students like to borrow it, and I like lending it out so that they can have a fountain pen experience in my class. So I teach college writing, and at the beginning of the class for 5 minutes, we do reflective journal free writing, and they write by hand. And yeah, so some people get to use the fountain pen and they love it. They love the experience, and I love sharing that with them. So I really hope you enjoyed that. I did not share any of these items with you so that you could go out and buy them. I am not being sponsored by any of these companies, nor do I like the idea of inspiring people to buy things just to buy them. I always say that a person doesn't need anything more than the first kind of notebook that I had ever in life, which was a composition book that I got after reading Harriet the Spy. Now, that's not the notebook that I had for school. I had other school supplies, but I wanted a personal notebook of my own, and this is the kind of notebook that I got back then, and I probably had, you know, like a big pen or, you know, something like this, and that's all I had. And so I'll always say, this is all you need to have any kind of personal writing practice or take notes. But it would be wrong of me to try to convey that that's all that I have, because I have a lot of things that I've collected along the way. Some of them are pricey. Some of them are probably frivolous, we could say. But they have significant meaning to me, similar to the essay in the book that I was sharing with you. They either remind me or connect me to a person or an experience or a place. And so if you were to go out and to purchase these things just to get them because you saw me with them, they wouldn't have or hold the same meaning or significance for you, and then they would just become like stuff and clutter and junk. And I find that when I do that, when I go out, and it doesn't happen very often anymore, but I did go through a period of time where I would want what other people had, and I would go out and get that stuff, and it just wouldn't work for me because I didn't need it at the time. And I couldn't find any way to like put it into my routine or my life, and it would just go to waste. I have tons of stuff, a lot of which I've given away, but some that I still need to find homes for, stuff that I have that's not for me. So at this stage of my life, I think I've done a really good job, even though I still have a lot of stuff. It is stuff that is meaningful to me for whatever reason. A lot of it reminds me or connects me with my kids or friends. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're able, if you're into having stuff, that you're able to differentiate between stuff that is meaningful to you and, just wanting other stuff because you see people with it. Talk to you soon. Bye.